Welcome to episode 9 of IdleTalk. Today, me and Juwan are talking about moral dilemmas. All right, Juwan, this is something you chose to talk about. Let's see where we go.
Disclaimer, we're not professionals at all. I think moral dilemmas are like a fascinating thought or conversation starters. I use it as like icebreakers.
Yeah.
Because you get to see like where this person is on the spectrum of right and wrong and whether you align with it or not.
Okay.
Like the most iconic moral dilemma that you have heard of.
Yep.
Is the trolley.
Yeah.
The trolley experiment, whether you would choose one person
to kill
or 5 people
to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which one would you choose?
I'll choose the one.
You choose the one.
Yeah.
So that's basically saying that you value the mass over the individual.
Yeah.
Now, there's another step to it. Now, let's say the one person is a doctor, and the other 5 people are construction workers.
Okay.
Who are you gonna pick?
Still picking the construction workers.
You're still picking construction workers.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. See, this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think in the trolley thing, it's guaranteed that one of the choices will die, right?
Yes,
no matter how many people are on one side, how many other. So it's not like if I save the doctor, he can come help and try to keep the other people alive, right? They're guaranteed to die.
Guaranteed to die.
So I'll just kill the one instead of killing the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And not that the job or their status makes it like a factor. Mm-hmm. I'm still gonna choose the one over the 5.
It's like the thing that comes into people's mind is what is the benefit
of saving the doctor?
Yeah, over the construction workers, right? A lot of people go, the doctor can save other people's lives. So saving him entails that he's going to save more people in the long run, rather than the construction workers that are going to only build, even though they are in
or the construction workers are building the hospital.
Exactly, that's one of the counter arguments.
Because construction workers are helping the doctor save lives. That's by providing them sufficient space and properly built buildings.
That's like the hardest. That's like one of the hardest things. Is like, what are you going to choose, the one or the other? And does someone contribute to society? Does that add to their value of
I think life? When they're like, the doctor's going to save more people, but also the doctor is smart enough not to stand in the middle of a trolley track, right?
Yeah.
How did we get there? How do we?
He probably cheated.
No, but how did the doctor get there in the middle? Like you can see us, right? And it's because the trolley, the brakes don't work, right? So you can swerve. And
you can only choose left or right.
Yeah, you can either swerve or stay on the course and kill the guy, I guess.
Yeah. I would choose the one individual as well, because there is this deep philosophical statement. It's like, how much is a life worth? Mm-hmm. And there is this, I know you don't watch anime, but it's Full Metal Alchemist. Mm-hmm. And it's a taboo that you can't bring somebody back to life. Yeah. And in Full Metal Alchemist, there's this thing, it's like equivalent exchange. So to get a pound of whatever, you have to give a pound of something else, right? So people will try to bring back somebody's soul with X amount of whatever. Now, the reason why you can't do that is because what determines the value of that soul? Yeah. You can't value it.
It's invaluable.
Exactly. And
it can mean the world to somebody, and then to a stranger, it's like, I don't even know that person.
Yeah. So that's like the weigh-in of the 1 and the 5. Mm-hmm. Even though this person's a doctor, these 5 lives and that 1 life are not equal, because there's 5 to 1. Yeah. And there's 1 to 1, depending on who it is.
It's interesting. They're like, what if it's a doctor? I wouldn't know that's a guy. That guy's a doctor. Or that woman's a doctor. Huh?
He's
a coat. Oh. I feel like in real life they're not out there wearing their coats. Do you realize under the coat doctors are wearing suits?
Well, I've seen a lot of doctors wear scrubs.
Yeah, but most of the time, like when you go when they're not operating on you, when you go to like a doctor's visit, they're wearing like slacks, and like the male doctors that I've seen, slacks and dress shoes and like a button up.
I've seen a few of them
under the coat, and I was like, if you take off the coat, because you don't take that outside. Mm-mm. Because you're contaminating the coat, right? You only wear it in the hospital, or in the doctor's office, and so like that could just look like a regular, well-dressed man to me. Yeah, and so I wouldn't know unless like he's wearing a sign or like has a sign that says "I'm a doctor." Like, so I think it's interesting. Like in the real like scenario, it'd be like I wouldn't know who does what. The guy I could be choosing to save, they could be a group of killers that they're the ones that cut the brakes, right? You don't know. And the guy in the middle could just be just some random dude, or that guy could be a terrible person and he could be a murderer too.
Yeah.
And the people in the trolley are just innocent people that just happened to get on the trolley and it wasn't their day. And now it's just like, I don't know until the decision is made what the consequences would be.
Now, if you were to add a personal note to it, someone you know, fill it in with someone of value to you. 5 people you don't know.
Let me make it spicy, right? Let's say it's you on the track, right? Okay. In the middle, and it's like the rest of the boys in the trolley with me.
Okay.
So now I have to decide between killing you or killing the rest of the boys. Let's make that the scenario, right? Okay. And let's put me in the middle for your scenario, right? And then the rest of the boys. So now, looking at it now, I'm just like, shit. Do I kill Johan or do I kill Christian, Muhammad, Fabian, DJ, Kenroy? Like, do I save them or do I kill? Or do I save you? And so now looking at that, like, it's like, that's a hard decision. You know when you play like a video game, it's like the timer's out and it decides for you?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be one of them things where it's like, oh, fuck, I haven't decided. And I'm going to just end up running over you. But I don't think I'll be able to fully choose which one to save. I'll just be stuck and frozen. Like, realistically, I'll probably like, fuck. And it happens. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be able, like, your value is less than theirs. Like, it wouldn't be like, yeah, John, easy. Like, it would be like, in a real life scenario, it'd be like, fuck. Like, I'll be yelling, like, what the fuck do I do? And it's like, I feel like if there's enough time, like, yo, should I kill him?
You ask for that?
I look like, yo, should I kill him? He's like, no, kill us. Bet.
But for me, I don't think I would be indecisive. I think it would just haunt me for the rest of the
decision.
Yeah, for the rest.
No matter what.
No matter, even if like it was like you had to make the decision. Like, I just wouldn't. I'll be traumatized.
I would just say pick me.
Same.
That's my thing. Just pick me. I feel like. Just make sure I don't splat all over the place.
Or it's painful. At least try to like speed it up. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make sure you kill me. Yeah.
Speed it up and then reverse. Don't make me go through too much.
Oh my god! Imagine if you kill me the first time, you reverse, and then that one kills me. It's like,
you feel it.
Oh my god!
You hear that? Oh, god damn it!
Fuck, god damn it! I didn't do it. My bad. I know this is the one thing you wanted. I'm sorry.
There's the others moral dilemmas of if someone steals food for their starving family, is that a crime?
Ooh. Logically, he did commit a crime. But is the bigger crime his inability to not be able to feed his family? And I'm not blaming him. It could be some extra circumstances. Like, it could be famine. Like, whenever I hear that scenario, it takes me back to an age where it's just like
1920s.
Yeah,
Great Depression.
Like, even before then, it's like famine, war, like king, queen. Like, takes me like, oh, that peasant stole bread for his family.
Not this day.
Yeah, not this day.
A little bit further back.
Yeah, like So like, I don't think of modern times when I hear that moral dilemma for sure. So I think.
Yeah, but what if it's in this day and age? Because I feel like it's more. You have a lot of X factors, you know, back then.
Yeah.
But now that there is an abundance of whatever, would you punish that individual?
So, what am I, the police officer, or what am I, the judge? What am I?
The judge.
The judge. I would take into account what the person says to me. That would be the biggest, because there's no jury in those kind of cases, right? It's just the judge and the person. Yeah,
just one-to-one.
So I would take into account what the person says to me. And if the person gives me like good reasoning and it's like, this is what's happening, this is my, like, give me the context into why you stole this thing, right? Because if you're just like, man, I just needed it because of this, like, that's, I'm gonna be like, guilty, bye, get out of here.
Yeah.
But if they're like, all right, so this, if they painted me the whole picture and they allowed me the ability to understand why they did it, and that kind of connects me and my humanity to them, and it's like into their humanity, and so I'm just like, okay, I have to punish you no matter what, right? Because it was a crime. But I'm not going to send you to jail. I'm going to be like, just pay for it, right? As easy as that sounds, like, well, if I could have paid for it, I wouldn't have to steal it, right? Right. But when you get like that fee, they give you a certain amount of days to pay. It's not like pay it now. It'll be like you have 30 days to pay whatever it is. Right?
Then it builds interest.
And then you get sent to jail.
No, it builds interest, and then once the interest
they just be like, get out. Like the 30 days are just like, you have this amount of time. Like they're not gonna be like, all right, now you have 60 days, or you're gonna go to jail. Like it's like pay for it, and then if you don't pay for it, then we're gonna come get you, and it's gonna be no like tell me why you did it or not. It's gonna be like you're just gonna get the punishment that you're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. So they give them that certain amount of days. It's like now you have this amount of days to pay it. Just pay for it, and then look for other ways to maybe it was like feed your family. So maybe it's like now just there's some resources to help you do that as opposed to sending you to jail and then taking away that ability to do it altogether.
Yeah. Is the punishment equal to the crime committed? Because then you're just removing that person from the family.
Now they're gonna suffer even more.
Yeah, that's like, and if the person that was stealing was the prime provider and they had to steal to provide, and you're removing them from the equation, you're punishing the family more so.
I mean, I would just be.
These are tough questions I like to think about because you see the ripple effect of action.
Yeah. Like there's no like. No, there's just no there's no conclusion. Like, all right, he did that. That's done. There's like you said, the ripple effects. Like, okay, now they're not going to be able to provide. Now they have to go do something else for that. They have to go. One path is life of crime. One path is maybe dying completely because they have no one to provide to. One path is like maybe they'll find somebody who can help them in the proper way. It's like there's multiple paths to our decisions, to our conclusions, and so it's not just because it's like, oh, crime done, jail, easy, that's it, that's over. Like, right? That close that chapter of that book. Like, no, there's a lot of pages you haven't seen yet, and they don't develop until you decide.
Until the next page is turned. Has there ever been like a moral dilemma that you had to deal with personally through your own experience?
Not on the scale of like,
not a life and death. I don't think
no,
so.
Like any of these scenarios, like, not really. I mean, you go first. I don't know.
I was selling weed in college.
Oh,
to pay for my books in class.
So, how is that a moral dilemma?
Because if I get caught, I'm not gonna go class. I'm not gonna go to school. I'm gonna get thrown in jail. So, like, the dilemma was, do I do this so that I can continue going to class, or not go to class at all? Like, that was like the moral. Like, do I do bad so I can achieve some sort of greatness?
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever been in a situation like that. No, I don't think so. I mean, not off the top of my head. I think I've had some situations like, should I do this or should I do this? But it's never been morally indifferent. Like, I've never been like, oh my God, this is gonna change the complete nature of who I am. Like, I've never had to make a decision like that. Like, do I do this to do this? Or what if I get caught? I can't do this anymore. Like, I feel like I've been fortunate enough to just be good in that realm where I don't have to make those crazy decisions yet. Where it's like, I do have to make certain decisions, but they're not on that scale where it's like, fuck, this is morally unethical, or like, I don't feel good doing it. Like, I've always been true to myself and just true to the logical outcomes, because I try to put myself in the best positions as much as I can. Like, I try to eliminate any X factors from any equations that I'm in. I try to get straight to the point, try to get A to B as efficiently as possible. And at some points, it's like, at that point, it's like fear of getting fucked up or failing or things like that. But
getting fucked up? What do you mean by
like
that?
Maybe just like it just
like a fight?
No. I'm talking about fucking decisions.
Well, that could be outcome of a decision. Whatever,
but it's just like getting fucked up in a way where it's like the decision fucking went completely the other way, and the consequences from that are completely unmanageable to what I was expecting them to be. And so I try to eliminate that and try to clear a path for myself to where I can get to A to B and get the desired outcome I want. So that's what I meant in that way.
Do you think there are bad people off cuff, or is it good people making bad decisions? I mean, good people making bad choices that continuously, progressively gets worse and worse. Like,
I don't think there's a right answer. I think it's both. I think good people make bad decisions every day. Bad being the key word, because bad is there's variables to that. It could be bad, like, oh, I ate this and I got food poisoning. That's bad. Or it could be I laundered $50,000 from my business, from this business I work at, this company I work at, and that's bad. Yeah. Right. So I think good people make bad decisions. I feel like that's what happens on a daily basis. But I don't think people are born bad. I think people are born into bad environments, and then the bad environments consume them. So if you're born into a life of crime, let's say your parents were bank robbers, right? To make it as cartoonish as possible. But they're all, you grow up learning that attitude, right? They're like, oh, we have to steal from this because they hate us and this is the only way we can get money, right? You learn that, like, maybe that toxicity. And so you grow up in a bad environment and you adapt those bad behaviors and those bad thoughts and those bad characteristics. And so I feel like if you put a baby in a room, it's like this baby's not gonna start fucking shit up because it's born that way. Maybe it'll learn that throughout its life. I think
that was one of the questions that people thought about when it came to psychopaths. Like, where does this person get those traits from? Like, why do they choose to lie even though they have been in an environment where truth has been held to such a standard? And why do they choose to hurt other animals and not be empathetic and all these things? That has always been an interesting question. It's also like those serial killers that they kill their mother or their siblings, and it's just like people who have these quote unquote good lives from the outside. What brought them to that, or if they were always like that? That was an interesting question that I always thought about.
Well, I think, listen, let me not generalize serial killers, but
you don't want to offend them.
But I think the environment they're in, right? You can be filled with love, right? How people are saying, like, oh, they're filled with love and happiness and they got everything they ever wanted. Why are they this way? I think the entire environment we need to look at, right? So if the at-home life is good, right? That's perfect, right? What about school, right? Because when you're a child, you go to school. How's that environment like? How are they feeling in that environment? How is the environment treating them? How is their relationship with other classmates and other kids their age? Because so if your environment is good at home, that's great, but maybe you're getting babied. Maybe you're a mama's boy. And then those characteristics are transferring over to school, and people are noticing that, and people now are using that fact and making fun of you because that's what happens at school. Like, you do something and then it's perceived by others as it could be a joke, or it could be they're really serious. You never know. It's school. School is different for everybody. So I feel like if your at-home life is good and it doesn't translate well to your at-school life, and then so that environment isn't perfect no more, right? It is now a dynamic environment where it can fluctuate either way. And I feel like that trauma that they're experiencing at that age, that is what fuels them later on in life with those decisions, those bad decisions they make. So you can say, looking from the outside in, their mom loved them so much. They provided everything that she ever could. And it's like, well, the school life wasn't that good. Like, maybe they weren't fulfilled as a child doing their own things. Maybe they wanted to play basketball, but they couldn't because they just weren't good at basketball, right? Maybe they want to do all these other things that they just couldn't do because they didn't have the ability to, or they didn't have the chance to, or they just maybe didn't have the self-esteem to go out and try. Like, there's a lot of factors that we try to put in one thing and call it something that is not, but we have to really dissect every single part of that person's life to kind of determine why they came out like that. But I don't think we should try to figure out the reason. We should just try to understand that person maybe more better and talk to them and see, okay, what is something unresolved about you that, like, let's get to know. Let's try to get it through you as opposed to outside looking in. Like, let me just talk directly to the person. Because then it could be like, yeah, one day in 3rd grade, this girl kicked me in my face so hard, I just hated the world after that. Like, okay, we're somewhere now. And so how do that hate lead to where we are today? Like,
yeah.
So I think let's stop trying to do our research on people. Maybe just try to, if we're able to, talk to the source directly. Because I feel like people don't do that because they may be scared of this person. Like, oh, he killed 4 people. What if he tries to kill me? It's like, that is a possibility. that could happen. But maybe get it from the horse's mouth directly and see and try to get the answers that way, as opposed to digging through and making assumptions that may be correct or maybe not be correct. But better to understand fully as opposed to guess.
Interesting fact. You're more likely to be killed by somebody you know. Does that worry you?
Yeah, I do. I do think that.
So
you know what I think of that stat when I hear you're more likely to get killed by somebody you know by accident, like not even on purpose. So I feel like let me put myself in the killing somebody by accident, right? If I'm driving a car and somebody's in a passenger seat and then something happens and I crash the car and I kill that other person, it's like, fuck, I killed this person, and I might be dead too. I might just not die right now. But I think about that, like accidental deaths. Like, you may get killed by somebody you know by accident. That's what I get. Like, when I hear that, that's my initial by accident. I don't really worry about on purpose, because I feel like, why worry about that? Then you would just be crippled by the fact that you know X amount of people and that one of them might kill you on purpose. Like, I feel like it's only a fear of mine where it's like, oh shit, it's by accident. You accidentally killed me. Like,
I one time feared that I may accidentally poison somebody with my cooking when I started for self-cooking.
Yeah.
And that was a fear of mine. And also driving, if I might crash or something. I know that's a fear of yours. That's why you're so...
Yeah.
What's it? 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock?
I'm defensive driving.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
Except when I'm by myself. I'm like, fuck it. I'm a fucking NASCAR driver. Let's go.
I would prefer that, just to see that in natural state.
NASCAR driver? Well,
yeah.
It's not for everybody. So I'd rather just be safe than sorry. Because then my insurance goes up if I survive.
If you survive?
Yeah, if I survive the car crash and you don't, I'm like, fuck, I gotta pay more insurance. Because then my insurance will pay out for your death.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. And then the death of the people that I crashed the car into. Like, I think in my policy I have accidental death protection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like if I have a passenger, it'll be like, won't be that much. Whatever value they instill on the life, but I don't know.
That comes back to the question. It's like, how much a life is worth? Life insurance knows about that.
They have to handle that every day. Like, fuck, we got to pay $100,000 today for this person. It's like, oh, we'll pay $50K tomorrow for the next accident. I don't know how they decide that, honestly.
I don't even know where to start.
Imagine you put value, like potential. They could have been a doctor. If it's a kid. Potential value, yeah. Like, they could have been a doctor. You know, you took away a doctor from the life. Meanwhile, that kid's playing Fortnite. And he's like, I'm gonna be esports player.
And after a certain age, they have like stagnant.
It's like, yeah, his ceiling is like on the floor. If he's 45, he's not gonna be a doctor. But
like, there are certain professions where you have to deal with moral dilemmas on a day-to-day basis, like being a soldier, police officer, firefighter, EMT.
Who decides your morals, right? You learn your morals through growing up in whatever environment you're in. So your morals are different than my morals. Not everybody has the same morals. there's no cookie cutter set of morals. Like your morals, let's say you have 10 rules or 10 principles in your moral sheet, right? Let's say everybody has 10. Everybody's 10 is going to be so different in layout and in what they are. So my number one moral could be like loyalty. And yours, if you have the same moral, let's say loyalty is 4th on yours instead of 1, right? That's just the severity of those principles are different already just on where they're placed.
Yeah.
And so moral dilemmas are all based upon the moral principles you have gained throughout your life, your own life, as opposed to the ones told and set by society and telling you what they should be. Your morals are going to be the ones you set through your life experiences and through what you believe. So when it comes to moral dilemmas, it's like, well, to me, morally, that's wrong. To you, that could be okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay in itself. We don't know what the situation is. To me, it's wrong. To you, it's okay. And that's fine. But then once we start making it specific, I killed that guy because he did this to that person. And it's like, yo, that's wrong. You shouldn't kill nobody at all. And then to you, that could be justice. That's justice. They harmed this person in that way. I brought justice to this person, right?
Yeah.
And like when you say police officers and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, like we have to bring this person to justice, but we have to do it this way, the rules that we all agreed upon as a society, as opposed to, no, let's do that shit right now and let's bring this person justice at that moment. So jobs like that, roles like that are extremely difficult to use your own morals as opposed to the morals set by society already, because you have these set of rules, but then you have your own set of rules. And so now people could be looked at as anarchists, as to be like, I'm just going to use my set of rules. I'm not going to use these set of rules because fuck those rules. Like they constrict me in a way.
Yeah.
So I think you need to just be aware of the guidelines and rules set by society, but also make your own and live your life through your own principles and find out what's important to you and what's important to your soul.
That was very deep.
Thank you.
That was extremely deep. I can't even follow that up.
Well, I think you don't give yourself enough credit, because I feel like whenever you hit me like with some shit like this, like off pod or like in general, like I'll be like, hey man, yeah, just finished making a sandwich, and you're like, you know what I think about? I think about like what's the value of a life and a soul, and like when you mean deep stuff like that, I'd be like, damn bro, I wasn't even fucking ready for that. Like, so I feel like there's gonna be some moments where you leave me how I left you just now later on, and I feel like I'm excited for that.
And it's because like I wasn't even thinking about the point of when I was thinking about like a life or death situation, right, with the soldiers and the police and the firefighters or the EMT, is like what I feel is like the moral dilemma is that, you know, in this situation you have full control and that's within your power, and the moral dilemma is, do you take it in or do you let it slide? Like if you're in the ambulance and you're saving someone's life and it's gone, like do you take it? Like that's such a hard, like, do you actually like, yo, I let this person die? Like that's, and you made a mistake or you slipped up, you were too late to add whatever chemical, I don't know, I'm not a professional, disclaimer. And is how hard is that how hard does that fall on you? These things that, because we are human, some things are gonna slip up.
Let's go back to the society versus your own set of rules. It's like society should say that you should feel bad for letting that happen, but what if your principles are like, I tried my best, I did all I could, and I'm okay with that? That's okay, right? You don't have to feel this overextending guilt by letting this person die. If you know true to yourself that you tried as best as you could, you didn't give up on this person, and you continue to fight until unfortunately that person's end, then your own morals and your set of guidelines and principles are enough to not let you feel what society wants you to feel in that way, where it's like, nah man, I tried my best, I knew, like, I did what I could, I did everything I could, I overextended what that person, let's say, quote unquote, needed. Like I tried my very best to do that, to save this person, but if I couldn't, I'm not going to feel bad about it, because I know I tried my very best and I put all my effort in on that specific situation. Now you're hearing that you're like, damn, you're fucked up. Like, people hear that, like, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. You don't feel bad at all. Well, it's like, I feel sad for the person that just lost their life, but I don't feel bad about myself for trying and failing.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of like honesty with oneself and being okay with yourself that way can be.
This definitely opened up my eyes again to society's morals.
Yeah.
What
standards,
society,
quote unquote standards that we have,
the pressures that you get from it, and how you have to put your own standards up, your own morals and ethics as you go through life.
And you get them. You take society's standards and then you make them your own, and then you maybe throw out some things and then pick up some things, because we don't have a set of standards that the whole entire world follows, right? Our part of the world has these standards. Some other parts of the world will have their own standards.
Yeah, like some people are okay with cannibalism.
Yeah. And as weird as that may feel to us, that's somebody's norm, right? And it's not an entire society's norm. It's just a specific part of our society that is the norm for them, and that is okay to them. And then for us, it's bad. It's like, you can't do, that's a life you're taking. You can't eat a person.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to end it.
Yeah, that's a good place to end it. We talked about morals. We talked about our own ideology of what life is and what's the value of life, and can you even measure that? And
no, I don't think you can.
Constructing our own morals and ethics compared to society.
That's a journey.
That is
constructing your own set of principles and set of things you believe in. That is a journey that never ends.
Yeah, don't forget, it's always changing.
Exactly.
If someone's the same from 4 years ago, I would say be worrisome of that person. This was a good conversation. You left me dumbfounded. That was not dumbfounded, but speechless.
Yeah,
that was really good.
I mean, that's why I think we started this podcast.
IdleTalk.
To kind of get our brains flowing and firing on all cylinders. So I enjoyed it. That was a good episode. I didn't think it was going to be a long one, but we just ended up going.
It actually did go longer than we thought.
Yeah. Here I thought, I was like, hey, I'm going to edit a 30-minute episode. And it's like, no, maybe not. Let's see where we end up. But thank you guys for listening. This has been IdleTalk. I'm Fernando.
And I'm ValdezDaDon.
And we'll see you next week.
Deuces.
Peace.